Okay, so you have recorded a strike and dip somewhere, and your job is to um, draw the map symbol using one of these ruler protractors. So how do we do that? Okay, so we've got oftentimes let's say that this is our map. So we have north is up. Maybe there's a creek coming through here. Um, there's a mountain over here. I'm not, just let's say we found a rock outcrop right there, and we want to, and its strike and dip was, we'll say, um, um, north 30 west, and the dip was 24 to the west. Okay. Oops, I can see that's off the screen here. So the dip was 24 west. So we're going to need some, we don't have we need a reference line. So I'm going to just go up to the top of the page here and just make a really thin line coming down, north-south line. Often maps have these on them already, but we can use the side of the page if not. Okay, so notice these numbers in here. The first thing to think about is, okay, northwest strike. Okay, is that just, we're going to rotate this thing, either this way or that way, right? So the first thing is just to think about, okay, northwest. We have north, south, west is going to be, it spells we. Good way to remember it. So it's going to be, northwest is going to be something that's off, kind of like that, right? So we can use this sort of focal point of these lines here, these lines coming across at diagonal angles right there. They all intersect there. So if we're on a reference line, if that focal point is on a reference point, and we rotate it until, see the 30 there, we count over 10, 20, 30, okay? So and then I fine tune it. So I make sure that this line here is right on top of the reference line. Now I can trace it all the way up here, look. So there, we're right on it. Okay, so now that is I just drew a north 30 west strike, okay? But I want it over here. I don't want it there, right? So how am I going to get it in the right place where I want it? So I get it lined up north 30 west, and then I slide this thing along my reference line until I can draw right through that point. There. There's my north 30 west strike in the right place. And now my dip was 24 to the west. So I put a tick mark on the west side, and then I write 24. So let's do a couple more. Let's say we have a south 60 west strike and a 32 south dip. Okay, so I use this reference line again, and now I'm thinking, okay, southwest. So I start south, and then I want to kind of head in the west direction. Okay, so I'll just watch as I go around. Now I'm going to look at these numbers, 10, 20. So I'm just going to skip, okay, all the way to 60. So I want to be going through there. Oh, and my focal point drifted off my reference line. So there's my reference line. I want to put it back. Okay, not quite there. 60, right? 60. There we go. This reference line goes through the dot, through it where it says 60. Okay. Let's say that we wanted to put that strike and dip there, because strike and dips can vary in the map area. So I need to slide this up. After I've slid up to that dot, I just want to check, am I still lined up with this pretty well? Fine tune it a little bit. All right, then I can draw south 60 west. and the dip is now I got to decide, am I putting the dip mark on which side, up here on the north side or the south side? The dip we're given was south, so it goes on the south side, 32. Let's say we had a azimuthal strike of 200. It's a strike with a dip of 78 to the east, and it was in that spot on the map. Okay, so just thinking back to our compass here, this north is 0, east is 90, south is 180. So 200 means about 20 degrees straight south and then another 20 degrees, okay? So I just take this and then I'm going to rotate it a little bit more clockwise, 10, 20. Okay, so there's the 20. I slide it up, make sure I'm on the line here. I'm just going through there. 20 is coming through down at the bottom there on the line. There we go. That's 200, 78. So it's to the east and 78. Another way that this is a slightly more advanced sort of a trick that you can use. Let's say that you had a strike of 100 and a dip 10 to the north. Okay, so I remember from up here, got 0, 90, so 100 is going to be, it's just going to be 10 degrees. It's going to be just a little bit more rotated, 10 degrees more past east-west, okay? Let's say that was the point was here. Sometimes it's useful to hold your protractor in an orientation like this. It could be because of where the reference line is, or the point that you want is way off on the edge. Couldn't reach it very well like this. Okay, so I'm just going to line my protractor up east-west, and then I'm going to turn it 10 degrees more. Okay, so I look down here, 90, and then I can just go, I can look at this little thing, another 10 degrees. Oh, look, it actually says 100. They wrote it on there for me. So I put it on that line where it says 100 and draw it. But oftentimes, and it's 10 degrees to the north dip. Sometimes you happen to put your protractor down upside down, or the numbers might not be on there. Let's say you're over in the sort of the above 180. There's no numbers above 180. Just keep that in mind. Don't worry so much about the numbers that are on there. I often just count. So let's say that the strike was 330, 15 east. Okay, I look at this, I think, okay, 360, so you go around clockwise, 360, so it's just 30 degrees counterclockwise from north-south. So all I would do typically, let's say it was a point here, I would just look at this, I would just look 10, 20, 30, slide it down, check them on that this focal point goes through the line there, it does. We're good. Okay, so that's 330, 15 to the east. So I generally don't even use these numbers. They can be, you don't want to make the mistake of being like, oh, the strike is, let's say it was 60. Don't just look at the 60 and line it up and draw it. That's actually not correct. Okay, this would be 60 should be, if you think about it, you start at 0, you go about 60 degrees like that. It should be kind of like that, right? So get it in your head roughly what it's supposed to look like, and then rotate it and count. You'll often find when you start counting, there's often a set of numbers 10, 20, 30. Oh, those are the ones that we should be paying attention to. There we go. There's 60 that we want. And for, let's say that it was going to be there. Okay, slide it up. There's 60 strike. Let's give it a dip of 88 south. Okay, so 88. I think that pretty much covers it. How to draw angles with a protractor ruler.